Good evening, this is News.PH, but it's not politics as usual. I'm Pia Hontiveros. A series of high-profile arrests or surrenders are about to take place any day now. The Sandiganbayan is expected to issue warrants of arrest for 3 senators and several other individuals on plunder and graft charges in connection with a pork barrel controversy. And just last week, a heckler, the president's Independence Day speech, was arrested for, well, disturbing the peace. But let's talk about those high-profile arrests first. We were supposed to speak, and we had confirmed a telephone interview with Senator Bong Revilla, but we were told just an hour ago that the senator might not be available because of a migraine attack. So I asked my staff to get on the phone the media relations officer of Senator Bong Revilla. Her name is Atty. Manso. Amy, are you there? Amy? We're waiting for Atty. Manso, the media relations officer of Senator Bong Revilla, to join us on the phone right now. Is Amy on the line? All right, we don't have Atty. Manso yet, but we will get her in a while. In the meantime, we're going first to the Sandiganbayan representative. The Sandiganbayan has raffled off the cases of the 3 senators to 3 different divisions. The first division gets Senator Bong Revilla's case. The third division, chaired by the presiding justice, Amparo Cabotaje Tang, gets the case against Senator Juan Ponce Enrile. The 5th division gets the cases against Senator Jinggoy Estrada. In 2001, when former President Joseph Estrada was arrested on plunder charges, the Sandiganbayan sheriff accompanied law enforcement authorities when they served the arrest warrant. This time around, the anti-graft court spokesman, Renato Bocar, says the Sandiganbayan need not accompany the arresting team. Let's talk to Attorney Dennis Pulma. He's the Clerk of Court of the 3rd Division that's handling Senator Enrile's cases. He joins us by telephone. Attorney Pulma, good evening. Thank you very much for joining us. Attorney Pulma, are you there? All right, I think we have a problem with the audio. All right, Attorney Pulma, are you there? Attorney Dennis Pulma, 3rd Division Clerk of Court. Are you on the line? Are you joining us? Here's your... All right, we have a little bit of a problem. We'll have to go first to a break. News.PH will be right back. Welcome back to News.PH. We really have some problems now when we talk about the pork barrel controversy. Let's go now to Attorney Dennis Pulma. He's the Clerk of Court of the 3rd Division of the Sandiganbayan that is handling Senator Juan Ponce Enrile's cases. He joins us by telephone. Attorney Pulma, good evening. Thank you very much for joining us.
Good evening, Pia, and all the listeners or televiewers of your program.
Thank you, sir, for joining us again. Sir, is it possible, Attorney Pulma, that the warrants will not be issued all at the same time because we have 3 separate divisions handling different cases?
It's possible that the warrants of arrest will not be issued at the same time in all of the divisions because, as we all know, there were 3 groups. And the one that raffled to the 3rd division was for the case of Senator Enrile et al.
Mm-hmm. Is it possible also that, or is it correct, is it correct that the Sandiganbayan Clerk of Court, for example, or the sheriff need not accompany the arresting officers?
Come again?
Is it correct na hindi kailangan sumama ang kahit sinong kinatawan ng Sandiganbayan sa mga arresting officers?
Well, it will depend upon the final order of the court in the matter of issuance of warrant of arrest. So, we will have to wait until finally yung warrant of arrest will be issued because there will be arrangements as I gather.
I see. So, pwedeng sabihin ng first, third, and or the fifth division na yung sheriff kailangan sumama sa arresting officers. Is that what you mean, sir?
As I said, at this point, it's too early to tell whether the court will direct the sheriff to personally be coming with the peace officers to effect warrant of arrest. Should the warrant be issued?
Should the warrant be issued? When you say should the warrant be issued, what do you mean? There is a possibility that no warrants of arrest will be issued because?
Kasi it's too early right now eh. Because ngayon, nasa process pa of determining probable cause. So, premature pa at this point to say or to comment on anything about the actual issuance of warrant of arrest.
Okay, determining probable cause, that is what is taking place in these 10 working days, no? Binigyan ng 10 working days, no, para matingnan ng mga WES ang kaso. Ganun po ba yun, ang sinampahang reklamo?
The rule says that the court or the judge has 10 days. But I believe that I think our Clerk of Court 4, Attorney Renato Bucar, has raised the possibility that it might even take longer than 10 days. Given the fact complexity of the issue, the nature of the offense, and the sheer number of accused involved in different cases.
All right, so it's possible that there may be some warrants issued for some of them. There may be other reasons also why other warrants will not be issued for the others also. Ganun po ba yun? Because, well, for example, on Friday, there is a hearing, right, for one of the motions filed by Senator Jingoy Estrada. There are many other legal remedies that they are availing of, right? Are you saying that these legal remedies may impinge
Okay, if I may interrupt.
Yes.
I am only speaking on behalf of the Third Division. So this coming Friday, we have a motion because Senator Enrile, the group of Janet M. Napoles, and the group of DBM officials and employees, and the group, some accused from the NLDC have filed judicial determination of probable cause. And these motions, all of which will be heard this coming Friday at 8:30 a.m.
All right. And of course, since no one can predict what's going to happen, then we have to wait for that Friday hearing so that we will be able to know kung merong may i-issue na warrant of arrest.
Yes, doon pa lang malalaman sa Friday. So, we'll have to wait until what will happen during the hearing on the motions of the probable cause filed by different accused.
All right. Sir, let's say, Attorney Pulma, let's say that there is going to be a warrant of arrest that will be issued. How is that transmitted to the PNP, the Philippine National Police, and the National Bureau of Investigation?
Well, it's up to the court which law enforcement agency will be directed to execute the warrant of arrest. It's up to the court. So as I said earlier, that we will have to wait on the final order. Should the court finds probable cause in these cases, then we'll have to wait for the final order of the court on how this warrant of arrest will be executed by peace officers. So
it is one or the other, either the PNP or the NBI that will get the order from the court?
Probably, yes, maybe.
But what is the procedure? How will this be transmitted? Is this yung dadalin yung physical paper, the hard copy, kumbaga, sa Camp Crame or sa NBI headquarters? Ganun po ba yun? Or is this by fax? Or is this by email? Or what?
From what we practice in the Sandiganbayan, usually these warrants are released to the sheriff. And then the sheriff is the sheriff personnel are the ones mandated to bring these warrants.
Bring. So physically bring the warrants. In other, the reason why I'm asking you about this is, maraming technicalities kasi, di ba? Pwedeng sabihin na, wala pa naman akong kopya. Pag sinabing kopya, hard copy, no? Yung papel, no? Wala pa naman sa akin yung papel eh. So, you're saying na yung sheriff, yung staff ng sheriff, dadalhin yung papel sa PNP o sa NBI?
Pero as I've said, again, magdidepende to sa final instruction ng court. Should it find probable cause? Kumbaga,
Yes.
in other words, the bottom line is the issue of where, when, and how these warrants of arrest will be effected should the court find probable cause will be known later on pag magkaroon na ng talaga ng issuance.
Yes, but
and magkaroon ng finding of probable cause.
pero usually, Attorney Pulma, ang pag-issue ng warrant of arrest, ang pagbigay sa peace officer, sa law enforcement officer, papel or pwede bang email o fax?
Usually papel po, ma'am.
Papel talaga.
Usually papel.
Okay. And ano bang oras usually nag-i-issue ng warrant of arrest ang Sandiganbayan?
Yan ang hindi ko masasabi, ma'am. Yan ang hindi ko masasabi kung ano usually yung oras or anong araw. Kasi siyempre magdidepende po yan sa sa action po ng mga justices natin eh.
Okay.
So we do not know.
Go ahead, Attorney Pulma.
Hindi, sige.
Okay. Yung arresting officer po ba, kailangan i-return niya ang warrant sa korte? Meron po bang ganon?
Again, depende po sa magiging kalalabasan po kung what will be the final instruction of the court sa mga arresting officers, kung saan dadalhin, etc. So, that's still a kumbaga debatable question.
Yeah,
at this
okay.
point.
So, doon sa, tulad na sinabi mo, doon sa warrant sasabihin kung saan dadalhin, kung dadalhin ba sa PNP, kung anumang headquarters ng sinumang agency, no? Paano kung merong hindi, kunyari may warrant of arrest for person A, no? At ang person A hindi mahanap?
Well, kung hindi mahanap or hindi ma-locate, etc., kung sino man yung inatasan nun, probably we'll have to make a report. We'll have to make a report on the non-execution of the warrant of arrest. Ganun ang pwede mangyari nun.
Okay. What happens if the 3 senators will voluntarily surrender? Because today, General Benjamin Magalong, CIDG, PNP chief, had said that he had spoken to at least one of them, 1 or 2 of them, and they had said that they will voluntarily surrender. Hindi sila kailangang arestuin sa bahay. Pwedeng pumunta na lang sila sa Camp Crame, halimbawa.
Well, ang ano lang naman ng court is to issue yung warrant to effect the in the issuance, kumbaga yun lang naman ng court. So whatever happens after that, should the concerned accused surrender, well, if kumbaga call nila yon. Pero as far as the court is concerned, when it issues, it will just issue. So tingnan na lang natin on how these warrants will be executed at kung ano magiging response siguro ng mga concerned accused.
Ang objective naman dito, Attorney Pulma, is for the court to gain custody or, not control, no? But, to gain custody of the accused, right? That the accused submits himself to the court, no?
Basically, an arrest is like taking a person into custody. So, basically, ganun po yun.
Okay. For someone who is already in detention, like Janet Lim Napoles, the warrant will simply be served to her, right?
Kung saan man siya ngayon, probably doon na lang i-effect yun.
Okay. Posible rin, kasi kanina, ang sabi nyo kanina, Attorney Pulma, there are any number of scenarios that can take place. We really don't know what's going to happen. We cannot predict what the justices of the Sandiganbayan will decide on.
It's even too early to tell kung ano pwedeng maging outcome. So ngayon, lahat kasi speculation eh. Pero as what I've been saying, definitely this Friday, there will be hearing on the motions. I mean, as far as the third division is concerned, there will be hearing on the motions, different motions of Enrile, the Napoles group. When I say Napoles group, it includes, of course, Janet Lim Napoles, her children, Joe Christine, James Christopher, and Ronald John Lim.
Okay.
Okay. And for the group of people accused coming from DBM, the group of Undersecretary Lampagos together with DBM employees Nunez, Pauli, and Bare also filed a consolidated motion to determine probable cause. And also the President of NLDC, Amata, Condilina Amata, has also filed. So, yun po yung mga i-hear natin ngayong Friday.
Okay.
All of which pertains essentially the same, asking the court to determine judicial determination probable cause.
Is it also up to the court to decide on the motion for bail of Senator Juan Ponce Enrile? Dahil, isang dahilan niya, he's 90 years old already.
Actually, Senator Enrile essentially has filed two motions. The first motion is urgent omnibus motion. Tapos, yung urgent omnibus motion includes one, motion to dismiss. Ang pangalawan, out tetela motion for bail. This urgent omnibus motion, you will notice, it was filed for the plunder case. And he has filed a separate motion to dismiss for the anti-graft cases because apart from one plunder case, he's also charged in all of the 15 anti-graft cases here in the 3rd Division.
Okay. So is it possible for a 90-year-old man, being that he is a senior citizen, well, very, very senior citizen, is it possible for him to get bail?
It's hard to say anything or to even give comment on that at this point because it's still such issues still yet to be heard this Friday. So mahirap nang to be quoted out of context on this. So I have no comment. I will not comment on that at this point.
Yeah. Would you have a comment on this, Attorney Pulma? Hindi ba kayo, ikaw halimbawa, or yung ibang mga kasamahan nyo sa Sandiganbayan, given that you sound and look very young, no? Hindi ba kayo ninenervyos? You are about to go, in a way, no, up against a very brilliant veteran lawyer.
Well, personally, trabaho lang naman to. And also, of course, we are, ako personally I'm receptive of the prominence that's been given in these cases. Pero sabi ko nga, I took an oath. Well, as a lawyer and as an officer in the court, I took an oath, and for me, that's all there is.
All right. Thank you very much for joining us, Attorney Dennis Pulma, Sandiganbayan, 3rd Division Clerk of Court. Thank you, sir, for joining us. We'll take a short break. News.PH will be right back. Stay with us. Welcome back. You're still watching News.PH. I'm Pia Hontiveros. The Philippine National Police has prepared detention places for those who are about to be arrested. But it will be teams from both the PNP and the National Bureau of Investigation that will effect the arrests, well, depending on what the Sandiganbayan justices decide on. Let's speak to Attorney Romy Asis, Chief of the NBI's Anti-Graft Division, and Police Chief Superintendent Ruben Sindak, spokesperson of the Philippine National Police. Good evening, General Sindak and Attorney Asis. Thank you very much for joining us.
Yes, good evening, P, and thank you for having the PNP here.
Good evening.
Kanina kausap po natin si Attorney Pulma, and it really depends on the justices, no? Sino yung, is it going to be the NBI or the PNP that will affect the arrest? But I presume that you are both preparing and prepared for this.
From the side of the PNP, we are prepared, and we are awaiting whatever the court so decides us to do.
And Attorney Asis.
On the side of the NBI, we have also some preparations underway. Although we are not at this point at liberty to disclose the preparations that are being made.
Okay. You don't want to give the media a walking tour of the detention area. Pero may detention cells din sa inyo? Or?
We have two holding area for male detainees and one holding area for female detainees.
Okay, a holding area for how many male detainees?
One holding area can accommodate 30 detainees.
Oh.
And so we have we can accommodate 60 detainees for the two holding areas for the male. And for the female, we can accommodate 25 female detainees.
Okay. Well, what is the process from your end? How does the PNP and the NBI receive warrants of arrest from the courts? General Sindak?
Yes, on the side of the PNP, we receive them usually through the CIDG. unless it's a local case. But mostly the big cases are received by our criminal investigation and detection group.
Ano po yun? Kaya nga tinatanong ko kay Attorney Pulma, ano ba yan? Hard copy po ba yan? Or pwedeng email or fax? What is
Sa
the...
ngayon, hard copy po.
Hard copy?
Yes, hard copy
Okay, so
po.
kung pag sinabing, wala kasing warrant, meaning papel talaga.
Yes, papel talaga.
So kung wala kang hawak na papel, hindi kayo lalabas?
Hindi pa, yes.
Okay. So NBI po, Attorney Asis, ganun din
Yes,
po ba yun?
Pia, the law requires that the original copy of the warrant of arrest issued by the court should be with the arresting officer. So we need to bring the original copy of the warrant of arrest.
In this day and age, when technology is so advanced and everything.
Sadly, yes. Ganun pa rin. But there are improvements being done between the courts and NBI and the PNP. We are trying to devise electronic means, but of course there are laws that have to be dealt with. Like
So parang
procedures.
e-warrant.
Yeah,
Parang
meron
ganon.
we have the e-subpoena already, which we launched with the Supreme Court and the Department of Justice. But of course, the e-warrant has to be further studied.
Yeah. Very briefly, I know it's a bit off topic, but can you just tell us what is it in the law that needs to be amended para itong e-warrant?
I think.
Yeah.
Well, if we want to have an e-warrant, we need to amend the law that requires that the original warrant be served to the accused.
Okay. Because that could be another cause for delay, hindi po ba?
Yes, but I do not see any delay in the issuance of the original because this is always served to the NBI and to the PNP.
Okay. If the three senators say, well, at least two of them had said previously, two or three of them had said that they would surrender, like for example today, sabi daw ni, reportedly, CIDG Chief General Magalong had said na kausap niya yung isa o dalawa, they will surrender daw. Hindi na raw kailangan silang arestuhin sa bahay or kung saan man, workplace or whatever. Will that mean that you will no longer go look for them and you will just wait for them to appear in the case of the PNP, in Camp Crame, in CIDG, in the case of the NBI, doon sa NBI? Ganun po ba yun, sir?
Well, not really. While we welcome or we're thankful of those intentions that they have manifested, we will still pursue with whatever plans we have prepared, just in case of any eventuality.
Okay.
And we will do the same because once we have the warrant of arrest, it is incumbent upon us as the peace officers to serve the warrant of arrest. I don't think we will wait for their coming. We need to go to them and serve the warrant of arrest.
Okay. So even if they have all the intention, yung in good faith na mag-surrender, it's immaterial?
Yes,
Kumbaga.
yes, Pia.
Okay. Is there a process that makes these warrants more important than others? Halimbawa, syempre marami namang may warrant, ano? You know, pwede bang sa organization ninyo, pwede niyong sabihin na, ito may national significance to, may importance to. Ito mauuna. Isang tabi na muna natin yung ibang warrant of arrest.
Yes, considering the high profile nature of the case, the PNP will of course undertake the appropriate concern and attention to that particular warrant.
And the NBI will do the same. Since these are high-profile cases involving high-profile personalities, then we will do the same and serve the warrant as soon as possible.
In a court order, well, earlier, Attorney Pulma was saying it depends on what the Sandiganbayan, the three different divisions say kung saan dadalhin. What usually, in a usual normal case, no, not that this is abnormal, saan usually dinadala yung inaaresto? Sa korte or sa detention cell?
We have a booking process in the PNP, and as soon as we gain custody of the person who is the subject of the warrant, we will have to subject them to the booking process. And from the booking process, we will put them in temporary custody until such time that we will bring them to the court and in returning the warrant.
Return the warrant. So
Yes.
parang it's reporting to the court na nasa aming kustodiya na itong
We
tao.
usually bring the person physically to the court.
Okay. And yung booking na sinasabi nyo, yun yung mugshot.
Yeah. 10 print card, yes, the fingerprint, the mugshot, and the medical exam, medical physical exam.
And you don't normally allow media to cover this, right? You
Yes,
just
sorry.
release photos, for example?
Yes,
etc.?
we don't, as part of the PNP, we don't normally allow the media to cover.
Is this the same procedure, Attorney Asis, in the
Yes,
NBI?
Pia, we have the same procedure with the NBI. We, once the accused is arrested, he is booked and fingerprinted, and we immediately return the warrant within 1 day. Within 24 hours, we are required to return the warrant immediately. And then we are required to bring the accused physically to the issuing court. In this case, we will bring the arrested person to the Sandiganbayan for proper disposition.
Okay. Whether surrender or arrest, pareho lang ang booking process. No?
Yes.
Hindi pwedeng skip yon.
Yes.
Yes.
Once a person surrendered, then we will place him under arrest by serving to him the warrant of arrest.
Okay. If someone among the dozens who are charged, no, in the charge sheet cannot be found, what happens? Manhunt?
Yes, initially we will have a manhunt, and then after some time, 10 days, I believe, we have to report that to the court, the issuing court, in this case, the Sandiganbayan.
Okay. Because usually yung mga taong may warrant of arrest, hindi naman happily surrendering palagi, no? Ganun pa ba
Yes,
yun?
yes.
Talagang kailangan hanapin sila. But do you expect any problems with at least the 3 senators? I'm sure that is something that you discuss in your preparations.
Well, in the PNP, we are discussing all probable or possible scenarios, but of course we cannot discuss that here. And we are, as I said, we are prepared, and we're trying to prepare for whatever eventuality that might happen in case that situation so arrives that the Sandiganbayan issues the warrant of arrest.
And Attorney Asis,
Well,
the same
on the
goes
part of the NBI, while preparations are underway, we are also aware of the public pronouncements of the 3 senators that they are ready to surrender once warrants are issued. So we expect them to do that. We don't expect them to say something and do another thing. So we expect them to surrender, as they said,
Yeah. Yeah.
once warrants are issued against them.
Okay. But hindi po ba in the course of your work, you do a lot of intelligence gathering, no? You
Yes.
gather information, no, about how, what people are planning, no? Have you been able to come across any information as to if there are any activities that are planned during the surrender and or the arrest of these 3 senators?
Well, we have, in the PNP, we have all types of information being received, and they're being processed by the investigators who will undertake the arrest.
Can you share with us some?
No, we cannot.
No?
No, we cannot.
But I suppose some of it is really interesting.
Yes.
Kung
very
ano-ano mga
interesting.
info lumalabas.
Yes, some of them are from amusing to interesting.
Amusing.
Yes.
Meaning nakakatawa.
Yes.
Okay. But you've been able to verify all this information?
No, they're still
A1
being
ito, still being
they're still being
processed.
processed. They're being evaluated, and we are still monitoring developments as they come along.
Okay. And Attorney Asis, is that what the NBI is also going through?
Yes, we have received information aside from the pronouncements that the 3 senators have been saying. We have been gathering information about the rest of the accused.
Okay. And are the rest of the accused, are they also going to be surrendering voluntarily?
We received no information that they are ready to surrender, but we would advise them to do the same as with the other 3 senators. They should come to the folds of the law.
Okay.
Yes, true. But we should take note, Pia, that we're about looking at 54 probable detainees or probable people who will be issued warrants of arrest.
Okay. Okay. Yung sinasabing alleged special treatment, that the mere fact that people are bringing up this issue, is that why the PNP came up with this idea of showing what the detention areas are like?
Well, first of all, the PNP is really serious in not giving any special treatment to any detainee. And the reason only for showing actually those the probable areas where we will be putting some of the high-profile detainees is that it was also due to the persistence of our friends in the media. They really battered us with so many requests, and so doing, our leadership, the SILG as well as the Chief PNP finally
Said, "Sige na nga."
conceded. Yes.
Ang kulit kasi, ganon.
Parang ganon, yes.
Okay.
Sa persistence din po ng mga kaibigan natin sa media na pagbigyan naman, sige, pakita natin before it becomes a totally secured area.
Lockdown area.
Yes.
Okay. But the detention cells, as we're showing now, will be as they are shown.
Yes, that one is the last room, just in case there will be changes like, as of now, the plan is like one person, one room, but we placed the double beds in the last room. There are 4 officers. Supposedly, these were supposed to be intended for officers' quarters. And when they came in, we were still installing the bars, the steel bars and the railings. And,
For officers' quarters?
yes, sana. But of course, it was...
officers, steel bars and railings?
No, because the officers' quarters were commandeered, so to speak, inagaw muna para gamitin as additional detention cells. That's the reason why the design is that way.
Oo. Pero bakit po ganun yung officers, kung officers' quarters yon, edi merong mataas na wall, tapos merong parang ledge para yung gwardiya pwede maglakad?
These are the officers' quarters of the officers assigned in the custodial service unit. Para madali po silang makapunta o makabalik sa duty. So, matagal ang plano to. Actually, this is part of a development plan. We showed them the admin building, the original plan. Admin building, a multipurpose hall, and 4 supposedly officers' quarters na inagaw na muna, so to speak, was taken away or commandeered from the officers who were supposed to benefit from it, and they were transformed into detention cells. Yun yung reason kaya nilagyan ng railings pahabol ng bars.
Papayagan po ba yung mga senators, again, if there are warrants for their arrest that are going to be issued, etc., given what's going to happen on Friday, papayagan po ba ang, halimbawa, air conditioning, refrigerator,
what you see in what we showed to the media is as is where is. Wala na pwedeng idagdag doon, and everything that will be introduced or placed in there anything additional from the smallest cell phone to the largest aircon or TV set will have to pass through the court. They will have to manifest their need to the court, and then the court will be the one to tell us if we will be the custodians, to tell us if we could when and if we could put in those appliances, gadgets, or equipment.
Okay. Pero mainit po yun, ano?
Yes, it is kind of hot. Medyo hot because of the wall and the ventilation.
Attorney Asis, yung holding room sa NBI, may aircon po ba yun? Or,
wala po. We
Wala
have
rin.
very simple holding areas with minimum requirements. And no cell phones allowed, no refrigerators. They will really live a very simple life.
Okay. Kahit na sabihin ng korte na, o sige na nga, pagbigyan nyo na, papayag kami sa ref, etc.
Well, the final arbiter here is the court. Once what the court says, we will follow if we can afford.
Okay. So if the court says na, halimbawa, may warrant of arrest na i-issue, kunyari, si Senator Bong Revilla, sige, pabayaan yung magkaroon siya ng videoke sa loob ng kulungan, sa detention cell. So, okay lang sa inyo yon.
Although a very unlikely example, but pag inutos ng korte, we have no choice but to follow, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay. Final words from the both of you. Attorney Asis, you first.
Well, the only thing that we can say is we will follow the law. And the Equal Protection Clause of the Constitution will be given to everyone. Once warrants of arrest are issued by the court, then we will implement it.
Thank you. General Sindak?
Well, the PNP is prepared to abide by whatever issuances the court, in this case the Sandiganbayan, will require us to do.
All right. Thank you very much for joining us, Attorney Asis, Romy Asis of the NBI's Anti-Graft Division, and General R.T. Sindak of the PNP, spokesperson of the Philippine National Police. Thank you, sirs, for joining us tonight.
Thank you, Pia.
We're taking a short break. Please stay with us.
maaalala natin, naganap din yan noong nagsagawa ang Pangulo ng first 100 days town hall meeting dyan sa La Consolacion College. Meron ding nagpahayag doon sa kanyang talumpati at hindi naman to trinato ng hindi tama. Dahil hindi naman tayo gumagamit ng mabigat na kamay sa mga mamamayan na nagpapahayag ng kanilang saloobin. Kaya nga lang sa ganitong pagkakataon ay merong mga batas o alituntunin na hindi nasunod.
Welcome back. You're still watching News.PH. I'm Pia Hontiveros. It would have been an ordinary Independence Day speech in quiet Naga City, but an Ateneo de Naga student decided to heckle President Aquino as he delivered a speech. The police pounced on him, arrested him, and put him behind bars. With freedom, after all, comes responsibility. Pio Emanuel, is that correct? Or Emanuel Pio Mijares, and the Police Regional Director of Region 5, Chief Superintendent Victor Diona, both join us by telephone. Good evening. Em, let's begin with you.
Good evening.
Yes, Em. Can you tell us, you were supposed to guest on the show here in the studio, no? But then you said you had to go back to Bicol dahil medyo hinahunting ka na raw ng mga teachers mo. Bakit ba? Nag-overcut ka na ba?
Hindi naman po totoo na hinahunting na, pero syempre, as a student activist, student comes first.
Okay. Hindi naman, kasi kung mag-overcut ka, baka mawala ka pa sa school, hindi ba?
Yeah.
Okay.
Likely true.
And what happened? Tell us what happened from your perspective.
Naandun po kami sa Independence Day celebration. Syempre, para mag-celebrate din, isang grupo po kami doon. Tapos, ako po yung medyo malapit dun sa fence. Nagtaas po kami ng banners. Yung sa akin nakalagay ay edukasyon para sa lahat.
And then?
Nung may lumapit ng polis, may tumulak may humigit po sa akin sa likod sa t-shirt. Tapos may kumuha na nung banner. Medyo naging violent na yung commotion. Doon na po ako sumigaw.
So you were not shouting bago ka nilapitan ng police?
Hindi po.
I see. Okay. Because the story was that sumisigaw ka na raw, kaya ka inaresto.
Ano po?
The story was that sumisigaw ka na raw, kaya ka na-aresto.
No.
No. Okay. So you just had that banner. And then what happened? So, you started shouting at the police. Ganun po ba yun?
Opo.
What were you saying?
Walang pagbabago sa ilalim ni Aquino.
And at that point, what were the police doing?
Kinaladkad po ako. Then, nakapag-pull pa ako ng isa pang banner. Nakapagtaas pa ulit. After that, I was pinned down.
Okay. So did you fight back?
Hindi po. Although, I was trying to get my banner. Wala na pong contact with the police. Wala pong nangyaring contact.
I'm sorry, what did you say? You were trying to, what about the banner?
Kinukuha ko po ulit yung banner.
Kinukuha mo ulit yung banner. Okay. But you were not physically assaulting them?
Hindi po. Actually, wala pong naging contact. Like, I did not push them or kahit anong body contact. Wala po talaga eh.
Okay. So but you did not hit the arresting officer?
No.
Okay. So, according to your story, you were merely holding up the banner and then nilapitan ka na ng police. Tapos nagsisigawan na kayo nun?
Opo.
Because, why? What was the police telling you at that time? At that point?
Ano po, yung pagsigaw ay reaction na lang dun sa violence na pagdampot sa akin ng mga polis. If I was escorted peacefully, hindi naman po para sumigaw. Sumigaw pa ako. Hindi talaga kami naandon para manggulo. Or it was not an action to personally insult the president.
Okay. So, yung pagsigaw, because, so yung pagsigaw mo, kasi yun ang naging dahilan daw para kasuhan ka, hindi ba? Ng public disorder. Is that what you were told?
Yun po yung kiniklaim nila.
Okay. And then what happened next?
Noon pong pinindown ako, pinipilit nila akong posasan. Pero, syempre, parang bakit naman ako magpapaposas? From the very start, nag-insist na ako na sasama ako sa kanila. Then, tumayo na ako. In fact, yun pong tatlong dumampot sa akin na police. Just to be clear, iba pa po yung arresting officer ko kaysa doon sa tatlong dumampot sa akin na police.
What do you mean? May tatlong dumampot tapos may ibang umaresto sa'yo?
Opo.
How did that happen?
May tatlo pong dumampot sa akin na police tapos itinurn over nila ako doon sa arresting officers doon sa mga 20 meters po siguro away or 30 meters mula doon sa nangyarihan.
Okay. Well, do you think you got attention also this way?
It's not about me. Ano po, parang people can say na ayan ay kumukuha lamang ng attention para sa personal interest. Pero yun pong ginawa ng grupo namin, those are valid calls na nagkataon lang na nahuli ako. Tapos ako yung naging muka nung napakaraming hinaing na nais naming irehistro.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mijares, for joining us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's go now to Chief Superintendent Victor Diona of Police Regional Office, Region 5. We have less than 5 minutes to go before we end the show. General Diona, good evening. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, Pia, good evening, and
Yes.
thank you for giving me the chance to at least express our side
Yes, sir.
on the issue at hand. Pasensya na hindi ako nakarating dyan ngayon. Right now, I'm in Masbate. So, sabi ko dun sa secretary nyo, sa phone na lang.
Yes, sir. No problem. Sir, can you tell us, I hope you heard what Mijares was saying. Ang sinasabi po niya, hindi pa raw siya sumisigaw. Meron lang daw siyang hawak na banner, may lumapit daw na tatlo, dinampot siya, binigay, saka daw lang nagkasigawan. Ano po talaga yung nangyari from your side?
Anyway, ganito po yun, ano. I was listening intently to what he was saying a while ago. Talagang nakikinig ako.
Yes.
Isang ano lang po dito, Pia, no? A case has been filed against him. So, I don't think it's proper for us to be discussing this over the media or over the radio or TV. Kasi nakafile na po yung kaso eh. That is his side.
Yes.
And I think the proper forum for him to explain his side is sa korte na.
Sa korte.
Nandun na po yung kaso eh. So,
okay.
I think itigil na natin yung ano sa media. A case has been filed in court. Doon na lang sana po siya magpaliwanag.
Sa
Yung
court.
side niya.
Okay.
Because as far as the police is concerned, dumaan po ito sa proseso. Nasunod po yung proseso na hinihingi ng ating demokratikong pamamaraan.
Okay, okay.
Na-inquest po siya, i-file yung kaso sa korte, nag-issue ng warrant yung korte, nag-set ng bail, nag-avail sila ng bail. So, nakalabas na po siya. Kung gusto niya pong magpaliwanag tungkol po doon sa nangyari, the proper forum is before the court, not before the media.
So, dun siya sa korte magpaliwanag at hindi na
Opo.
sa presinto. Okay. Pero sir, can you just tell us if it is true that he was nilapitan siya ng pulis dahil may dala siyang banner, pero hindi pa siya sumisigaw at that point.
Ito pong Pia, doon ito sa inquest. Doon pa lang sa fiscal nagkaroon na ng preliminary or informal inquiry tungkol
Yes.
dyan.
Yes.
So yung fiscal po, during inquest proceedings, tatanong po yan ng mga probing questions
Oho.
to really determine the validity of the arrest or the basis doon sa pag-aresto. At titingnan din doon kung yung mga isinasampang kaso ay nasa within the reglementary period. At doon po may establish yung probable cause.
Okay.
So, dumaan po ito sa ganung proseso, ibig sabihin, kahit yung piskalya siguro ay naniniwala doon
sa pulis.
dokumento ng binigay ng pulis.
Okay.
So, sabi ko nga po, yan po ang side niya,
Okay.
Yung side ng pulis, hindi ko na po kailangang sabihin pa because naandun na po sa korte yung...
Nasa korte na.
Opo.
Oh, and like you were saying, dahil nga, kumbaga, na-elevate nga ng piskalya, may ibig sabihin yon. Okay. Sir,
Opo.
yes, is this also a case of not in my backyard, you don't? Ganun po ba yon? Dahil, well, in the history of the Noynoy Aquino administration, hindi pa po siya nahehekel sa isang Independence Day speech. Tapos nangyari po ito sa Naga pa, sa area pa ninyo.
It's not, hindi po ganun
No.
yan, Pia, Kasi ganito yan. Tanggap po natin na talagang yung freedom of expression is guaranteed by the Constitution, So, anybody can always invoke his right. Kaya lang, anong punto naman namin po dito, in the exercise of that right, the rights of others should not be infringed upon. Ibig sabihin dapat walang apektadong tao. Hindi naman siguro pwede na anytime and anywhere I want to exercise my right, ito pwede ba yun? Halimbawa, audience ako dyan ngayon
Dito sa
show mo
studio.
sa interview. I'm among the audience. Tapos bigla akong tumayo. Nagsisigaw ako dyan or nag-ano ako ng kung ano-anong sinabi ko. Dahil halimbawa, hindi ko gusto ang solar, hindi kita gusto. Pwede ba yun? So,
Okay.
ang punto ko dito is, yes, we all have our rights, guaranteed yung ating freedom of expression, but we must remember that in the exercise of those rights, the rights of others should never be infringed upon. Kaya nga po may tinatawag tayong social contract.
Okay.
At yan po ang nangyayari sa demokrasya. Kahit sa demokrasya, we should be willing to sacrifice some of our rights in order to enjoy the common rights. I-enjoy ng lahat.
And if we want to exercise certain freedoms, then we should be willing to take consequences if there are any?
Of course. Of
Okay.
course. Kasi yun nga po, mayroon po tayong mga batas, mga rules na dapat sundin in the exercise of those rights. At yan po ay naandyan po baga sa ating revised penal code. May tinatawag po tayong disturbances against public order. So hindi naman po pwedeng absolute yung ating expression ng right na yon. Kailangan irespeto din natin yung rights ng iba. Like doon po sa celebration ng Independence Day na yon.
Alright.
All the other people who were there had also the rights not to be disturbed. You must remember, it was a very formal and a very solemn occasion. Tapos biglang may magsisigaw, I don't think it's proper. Para sa akin, it's not an expression of a right, but lack of manners.
Yes. Very quickly, General Diona, we have to wrap up already, but just one last point. Yung sa Public Disorders, Article 153, ang sinasabi po dito, disturbance shall be deemed tumultuous if caused by more than 3 persons who are armed or provided with means of violence.
Well, ang ano po dyan, sabi ko nga, it's not for us to rule on that. Nasa korte na po yung kaso eh.
Okay.
So, yung judge po ang mag-ano dyan kung he is guilty or not. Hindi na po ang police. We filed the case, it went through the process, nasa
Okay.
korte na po ngayon, doon na lang po nila sagutin.
Okay. And as far as the PNP is concerned, as far as the police is concerned, with freedom comes responsibility?
Of course. Yun nga po isang, I think that's one thing wrong with some of our people dito sa Pilipinas. Kasi ang palagi na lang sinisigaw yung karapatan nila, yung kanilang freedom, yung kanilang rights. But about the corresponding responsibility, what about the corresponding obligation or duty to this country? Wala na akong naririnig na ganun eh. Na I want to
Okay.
do this because it is my duty.
Alright.
Puro na lang I did that because it is my right.
Okay.
Kahit talagang walang pupuntahan siguro ang Pilipinas kapag ganyan.
Thank you very much for joining us tonight, General Victor Diona,
Yes,
Regional
ma'am. Thank you
Director.
very much also, ma'am.
Regional Director, PNP Region 5. Thank you, sir, and thank you for watching. See you again next Wednesday. Good night.